What's happening guys, Gemma here and back again for another gaming related video, and today we are drilling down and talking about the PlayStation 3, and I'm going to be talking to you about the very first 3 titles that I got to play back in the day, and it wasn't on a flat screen. There's a little bit of a story to this. It's on the old CRT TVs, which we all love and miss very much now, because let's face it guys, for things like playing a Super Nintendo, playing your Sega Mega Drive, CRT TVs are and will always be fantastic, but they weren't that great with the PlayStation 3 and 360. So I want you guys to watch this entire video, and I think we can have a little bit of fun with this one, because I am eager to read what 3 games you first played on the PlayStation 3, which means you can drop a comment below or tweet me or do whatever you want to do, but please sit back, watch this entire video. I have very fond memories, and I will say this, whenever it's officially announced, I am so excited for the PlayStation 5, and fingers crossed it will have backwards compatibility for the likes of the PlayStation 3, 2 and 1. Obviously it's 4 as well, because that's already been confirmed, but I'm super stoked, so let's get into it and I will stop rambling. So let's go, let's kind of reel this out as a little bit of story time then. So we went to purchase a 60 gig, obviously the fact, PlayStation 3 Piano Black bundle with 3 games back, I think about 6 months, maybe even about 9 months after launch. And we picked out the 3 games, and it was me that picked them, and I picked Oblivion. So we're going to start with that. I'm going to tell you the other 2 in a minute. So Oblivion. So I got home, hooked up the PlayStation 3 to the CRT television, popped in Oblivion, and didn't have a goddamn clue what to do. I then just kind of left it. But when I came back to it, I soon realised that I needed to kind of plough more time in and really understand that I need patience, because I didn't really play many role-playing games. I think Oblivion and the likes of Morrowind on the original Xbox did a great job at bringing Western RPGs to the forefront of conversation, and I spent a lot of time with Morrowind. But Oblivion for me was a drastic step up, particularly around the menus, like I say, and just the world was so vast, I just felt so lost. So when I gave it some time, Oblivion soon became one of the most addictive experiences for me back in the early days of the PlayStation 3, and I have very fond memories, and I've told you guys before, I'd literally come home on a 30-minute lunch break. It'd take me 10 minutes to drive home, I'd play it for 10 minutes and then 10 minutes to drive back to work. Like, that is how much I just wanted to be in this universe all the time. And I've loved Elder Scrolls since Morrowind, but I've really I fell in love with Oblivion, with Elder Scrolls 4, back on the PlayStation 3, and I can remember it as though it was yesterday. And I remember, actually, just as a little bit of extra information, I remember there was this mission, and it was an accident that I'd stumbled across it. And anyway, long story short, I became a vampire. Now, in Elder Scrolls 4, you cannot be out in the day when you're a vampire, because you die unless you find a cure. And it was very difficult, because if you couldn't kind of fast track through the day and night cycle, you had to wait it out for it to turn dark, for you then to kind of go off and actually do this quest to cure yourself, essentially. And I remember it taking me frigging days, and I was so stuck and I couldn't progress, and I was just this vampire, and I must have died so many times. It was unbelievable. But I loved it, mate. I loved it so much, and I still do. In fact, I love it so much. I'd love, imagine, okay, perfect scenario. Elder Scrolls 6 gets a release date. Just work with me, yeah? Elder Scrolls 6 gets a release date. Oblivion 4 HD remaster, you get it free. Imagine that. Dude, a girl can dream. A girl can dream. I don't want diamonds. I don't want fast cars. I just want video games, right? I just want these awesome video games. So Oblivion Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion was one of the first 3 PS3 games I ever played. I'm going to talk about the other 2 now. So yeah, stick around. So a game that I'm not going to spend as much time on talking about, it was Virtua Fighter. It was one of those, like, we were in the store and we picked the Oblivion and the other game I'm going to talk about, and then Virtua Fighter is, oh, I just got 10,000 steps even though I'm sat still, thank you. Virtua Fighter was just one of them that was, for me, just like a bit of a shelf filler. Don't even think I played a massive amount to the point where I was like learning loads of combos or anything like that. But I was familiar with the brand from the Sega Saturn days and obviously kind of the arcade stuff as well, so I thought I'd give it a go. It's not really one of those PlayStation 3 games that gets me revved up as something like Oblivion does, but it was still fun back in the day. But let me know in the comment section below, what is your favourite Virtua Fighter game? Smash a comment and let me know. Okay, the other and final PlayStation 3 game that I first played within this like initial bundle then was F.E.A.R. F.E.A.R was, and again, let me just kind of, I remember playing F.E.A.R on the CRT TV and kind of looking in the bottom corner and being like, how much ammo have I got left? Because it was so pixelated. I literally believe like the day after we went out and we got a 50-inch plasma screen and HDMI cable on credit back then when I was stupid, and then we bought it back, and I remember playing F.E.A.R with the HDMI cable and looking at that same clip and thinking, that's how much ammo I've got. The pixelation has reduced drastically. So it was absolutely wicked to go from the CRT TV PlayStation 3 experience right up to playing it via HDMI. Dude, I was so stoked. And then I just became so immersed in F.E.A.R. And it didn't take me that long to complete. And for those of you that don't know, F.E.A.R, I believe, was a launch title, if not a very early PlayStation 3 title. It's a first-person shooter, horror game, quite trippy in places. Some jump scares. I wouldn't necessarily say there's anything remotely graphic about it. There's a little bit of gore, which is definitely amplified with the HDMI, but it is a worthwhile experience, and it went on to become a trilogy. But unfortunately, F.E.A.R 2 for me and F.E.A.R 3 didn't really live up to the adrenaline-fueled experience that F.E.A.R gave to me. Unfortunately, we haven't seen anything since like the 360, so yes, so still last generation. And there's so many first-person shooters out there now that compete. You know, I think it's an oversaturated market, first-person shooters, the linear stuff, not the open world stuff like Rage 2, but the kind of linear stuff like F.E.A.R, Doom, I guess, as well. But it was fun. And I really freaking enjoyed it, and I'll never ever forget the jump up from the damn CRT TV television, which I think went to the tip, right up to that 50-inch, and I'm kind of sat there, I was like, oh, sat on the laminate floor playing this game, oh my god, warm memories for sure. It seems, like I say, it seems like it was yesterday, but I had a ton of fun, and the PlayStation 3 for me will always hold dear. In fact, right behind the camera, I have an 80GB fat PlayStation 3. I just love it so much. It's loud as hell, but I love it. So there we go. It is your turn to tell me which 3 PlayStation 3 games you first played, when it was. Put as huge of a comment in as you want, or just bullet point your 3. I don't care. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys can come up with in the comment section below. I have a I have a decent PlayStation 3 game, selection of games. But I always like to kind of read recommendations, so maybe from this I can get some recommendations. And I will say this final point about F.E.A.R. I don't think it's aged very well. Is it me? Or does it look, it just doesn't look as crisp as it felt back then. And it certainly feels very, very clunky, but nonetheless, it's nostalgic. And what can I say? What more can I say? I've really enjoyed doing this video. I love this kind of stuff. Like I say, I feed off the nostalgia. I love gaming. And I just want to kind of conclude by saying thank you for being here. If you're new, please thump that subscribe button. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy these kinds of videos. And all links to social media and playlists will be in the description. But for now, I will catch you in Friday's video. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Gemma. Take care. See you soon.